He is the head coach of the Alabama hockey team. John Bierchen is with us. A big day for Alabama hockey. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well. A big day, as I said. I talked about it earlier. 11:30, you're having a press conference at the famed Bryant Museum to discuss the team's first Division I All-American. We'll get into that in a moment, the direction of the program, and announce the schedule for the 2017-2018 season. I was saying earlier, and we've visited about this in the past, Alabama still, of course, is a club team here. Alabama hockey is the university. No support from the athletics department, but unbelievably organized, have built an incredible following. You have to be pleased with what's been accomplished so far, but I know ultimately your goal is to try to, at some point, have a facility here in Tuscaloosa to play ice hockey in, and maybe one day be part of the Department of Athletics. What's the latest, and what direction are you moving in?
Well, it's just kind of like how I always say, letters don't define us, and they don't define our approach. If you look at what Coach Saban has done, Coach Murphy has done, a lot of the other NCAA coaches have done, I think they've even surpassed what NCAA expectations are in terms of building programs, and that's kind of the same approach that we take. Is we're just trying to be the best we can be. We're not really comparing ourselves to like, oh, well, we want to be like, Minnesota or Notre Dame or like any of those NCAA programs. We want to be even better than them. And I think, Coach Saban, Coach Murphy, Coach Duckworth, a lot of those other NCAA coaches have done a phenomenal job of doing that. So that's the way we attack each day, is just trying to be the best program that we can be. And hopefully, one day that does translate into, NCAA success. And I think, that would be a benefit for the fans and the university. But until then, we just attack each day, trying to be the best we can be.
Alabama head hockey coach John Bierchen, our guest here on the Bud Light Hotline. The Pelham facility has been outstanding for you. Great that it's there. Minor league hockey is coming to Birmingham. How is that going to affect Alabama hockey?
None whatsoever. Actually, it will benefit us
Okay.
in a pretty positive way. They are doing a whole bunch of renovations, so they are actually expanding the seating capacity to 4,000 seats, and will add seat backs to every seat. So if you've been there, they do have some bench seating, so they will replace that with seat backs and add some concession stands kind of to the left side, and some suites and all that, and then a brand new press box. So the Birmingham Bulls coming in is gonna benefit both us, them, and the Alabama hockey community. So we're really excited about that. It's going to be a great fan experience, and only I guess lend to the talk of NCAA when you see the renovations that are going to happen.
The success on the ice for this program has been outstanding, particularly when you consider that, and we know it's a growing sport. More on that, on how it's growing in the South in a moment. But a lot of the recruiting has to be done nationwide, and you're bringing guys in playing hockey in Alabama. Yet you've had outstanding teams. Prior to your arrival, the program was already in good shape, and you've only added to it. Just talk about that. Ultimately, when you play a sport, the goal is to win, and Alabama hockey has done a lot of winning.
Well, everybody always asks me, how do we get the caliber of athletes without giving athletic scholarships? And really, it's just about selling everything about the university and its experience and the resources that it has, and showing that, paying the dollar amount that you have to really does benefit you in the long term. So when you look at our academic success, our athletic success, it really is worth, paying a little bit extra money to come here. So I think we've done a really good job of just educating potential student athletes on, what the academic success means for the rest of your life, and what the athletic success means for the rest of your life. And in terms of our on-ice development, I think we've done a really good job of kind of mimicking a professional minor league team in terms of like player development and practice, and the way we structure our practices, the way we structure our in-game strategies, and managing players. And then academically, obviously, the university continues to get ranked in many different colleges and stuff. So I think, once you kind of educate people on what the University of Alabama can do for their child, I think, anybody would want to sign on and pay for that experience.
Well stated. Alabama hockey coach John Bierchen, our guest here on the Bud Light Hotline on the Gary Harris Show. I will tell you this, too, folks. He does a great job on Twitter. Brian Ogden, who handles publicity for the hockey team, does a great job, too. And if you want to follow Coach Bierchen on Twitter, it's at John Bierchen, JohnBierchen. Terrific follow if you're interested in keeping up with Alabama hockey. All right, let's discuss one of the topics for the press conference today. And I know everybody associated with the program is really proud to have a Division I All-American, your goalie. Just tell me more about that.
Yeah, Pierre transferred to us from Division III Oswego, so he came from an NCAA program. And, kind of to go back to one of your previous questions, I think that's kind of a testament to the university and our program and the way we're approaching things, is that we're able to get these D3 NCAA transfers, and obviously it's paying off in the classroom and on the ice. So Pierre ended up with the most goals and points for a defenseman in the entire league, and we play a pretty offensive style, similar to how the Nashville Predators have had a lot of success in involving their defensemen in the offensive play. So, he just had a phenomenal year with us. He played very well in special teams, and then also 5-on-5 was very offensive. So, we're very proud of everything that he's accomplished, individually, but then also the great teammate that he is to the rest of his teammates. And I think, he's a very good role model for them.
All right, you mentioned the Preds, and I was going to go there in a moment, but let's go ahead and talk about what's happening in Nashville. I remember a few years ago there was a lot of talk that the team might leave, but here we are in the heart of the South in Nashville, Tennessee, country music capital of the world, not traditionally, obviously, a hockey town, and to see what's happening with them, first of all, their team, to make this amazing run through the NHL playoffs to get to the Stanley Cup Finals, with a team that, quite frankly, going into the playoffs, nobody probably would have picked. But I go into a sports bar here in Tuscaloosa now, and I'm seeing Preds jerseys. People are lined up to watch them on television during the playoffs. Of course, waiting the Ottawa-Pittsburgh winner in the finals. You got to feel great about that. I mean, that's bringing a lot of attention to hockey in the South. It's bringing people into the game, and I would think there's some good residual there for Alabama ice hockey.
Yes, definitely. And, I always talk to people a lot about this. I'm from Tampa. So, the Tampa Bay Lightning are entering their 26-27 season, and, 10 years into their existence, they kind of had the same discussions about moving, similar to Nashville. And I think people got to understand that when a team comes in, it takes, 15, 20 years for kids to kind of grow up as fans and, be fans and support that team for, a generation. So, like both of my parents are from Chicago, so naturally they're Chicago fans. But, I grew up in Tampa. I was born in Tampa. So, now that, I'm 28 years old, turning 29, there's a lot of my friends that have grown up since they were kids being Tampa fans. And I think you're seeing the same effect in Nashville where, kids grew up being Nashville fans, and that's why they're getting so much success now. But, yes, I've had a lot of people whether I'm at the rec center, around campus, at the Ferg, a lot of people asking me my opinion on the Nashville Predators, and they've done a phenomenal job with kind of playing a new style of hockey. Peter Laviolette is an American-born coach, and he's done a very good job with the organization. So, I'm certainly pulling for them, and I think they will, their success hopefully comes back on the rest of Southern hockey.
All right, I don't want you to give it away because I know you want to announce it today at the press conference at 11:30 at the Bryant Museum, but you're going to announce the schedule for 2017, 2018. Pumped up about it? I mean, you feel good about the schedule you put together?
Yes, definitely. We'll have the most home games that we've ever had. And I think one of the more important things, too, is that 20 of the 22 home games that we will have will all be at 7 o'clock. So we have a couple Thursday, Friday dates that then, precede a football game. So we'll play a Thursday night and a Friday night at 7 p.m., and then the football team will play Saturday. And then the other kind of highlight is there's a Saturday afternoon game that starts, I believe it's at 2 o'clock, if I can remember right, and then the Birmingham Bulls will play at 7 o'clock, so we have a nice college pro doubleheader there. So I think we have a lot of home games. They're spread out, which I think is going to be good for our fan base, and then they're all at the same time. 20 of the 22 are all at 7 p.m., so I think it gives a little bit earlier of a start, so that way people can get there, watch the game, enjoy the game, and then get back to campus at a reasonable time.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Again, you're very well organized. I want you to pass along some information. I know people can get more information at the website, www.alabamahockeyclub.com. But if people want to get involved, Coach, in supporting the program, getting more information, maybe even becoming a financial donor, let people know how they can become involved with Alabama hockey.
Yes, they can just send me or any of the people on the website an email. So my email is jbierchen@alabamahockeyclub.com. And again, all the information is on the website, so they can always just email me and get in touch with me, and I will, direct them to the proper channels to do so. But yeah, I mean, we could always use the help. We're always looking to kind of build our infrastructure so that we can be a little bit more NCAA's. People like to refer to it as, or I like to say, just more professional. So there's a lot of little things that we can always get donations for that will help us, in the short term and in the long term. So we always appreciate any help that anybody can provide. So, please reach out to me or anybody associated with the hockey program, and, we'll let you know how you can help.
Yeah, Alabama ice hockey, there's no doubt about it. It's growing. Coach Bierchen, I would be remiss, though, if I don't ask you about your situation. I know how hard you're working. As you said, you're still a relatively young man, under 30. This Alabama hockey club, you might have other opportunities. There might be something coming your way. I mean, what do you see as your future? Or, you see this as something that you're going to be involved with for a long time?
Well, you know what? That question does come up, with close friends and family. For those who don't know, my father graduated from the University of Alabama. My girlfriend, who came with me from Columbus, Georgia, she works for the university, and obviously I graduated from here. So I would certainly like to make this a forever stop. I think it's a great place to be. I always do kind of have options kind of come up because I do have an NCAA and pro background, but I think that's something where we're working hard to make this a long-term venture. And I think the more people in the community and fans get involved to kind of solidify the future of Alabama hockey, that only solidifies my future, because I would love to be here for the next 55, 60 years and never leave Tuscaloosa and retire here and never have to leave. So I hopefully that is my path, and I'm working hard to make sure that happens.
Well, you're living your passion. There's no doubt about it. And anybody that has been around you can see that. I think if they've listened to this interview, they can hear that. You're passionate about what you do. You have a vision. And again, laying out the direction of the program will be one of the things that you'll do. I think the media contingent will be sizable today for that. I'll have a representative there from WVUA 23, and glad to have you on this morning. And we'll visit again. Thanks, Coach, for the time.
Yes, thank you. And I'd just like to give a shout out to Coach Murphy and the softball team. Coach Murphy's a close personal friend of myself and then the program. So good luck to them and their super regional starting tomorrow against Florida.
Absolutely. Thanks, Coach.